Hey everyone, Todd here, internalarchitect.com. In this video, we're going to have a discussion about how many people get cancer. Now, I want to kind of break this down into the most recent statistics that I can find for 2018. So it'll be for this year. This is a pretty amazing number considering everything that we hear, everything that we know, and all the people that we hear. We hear about it all the time, but I don't think it really puts into perspective just how massive these numbers are. And it can kind of go to show that it is just how big, it shows just how big of a business cancer is to the medical industry. You know, I have some notes here that I'm going to keep referring to just so that I can stay on track. But at the end of the day, it's impressive. The numbers are just impressive. And that's why I wanted to kind of go over these. I wanted to put some content out about the cancer stats and the facts about it. You know, just in 2018 alone, right? 2018. There's over 1,735,000 new cases of cancer diagnoses this year, or that for 2018. I mean, that is, you know, that's a staggering thing. And if you think about it, if each, I'm gonna ballpark it, right? If each case is approximately 100 grand, think about those numbers for a little bit. That's a pretty big number, and it's no wonder why this hasn't gotten any better. It actually is getting a little bit better. It is slowly declining, but not like you think it would. The survivor rate is actually getting better. Okay, so for the percent surviving is from 5 years is 66.9% of the people that are surviving right now, and that statistic comes from 2008 through 2014. So, you know, it's a fairly decent odd, but I don't think it's good enough, you know what I mean? There should be a lot more going on to do it, especially with the amount of money that's going into research and push to actually cure cancer. I got a lot of opinions about that. Most of you know about that, and we can get into that another time. Back to 2018 though, you know, 609,000 people will die from cancer this year. I think that's 609,000 people too many. It'll slowly get better as treatments and stuff get better, but until the greed is able to get out of it, I don't think it's going to really drop anytime significantly, or are we ever going to see a cure? Those are a couple things and a couple quick tidbits to that. You know, 1 out of every 2 men and 1 out of every 3 women will experience cancer in their lifetime. As a survivor, and I know that you guys probably feel the same way, it's hard to compute into the suffering that goes on with this. And then on top of it, the suffering that also happens as you're going through treatment. You don't know, you're not sure what's going to be worse. Is the treatment going to be worse, or is the cancer itself? And honestly, it's hard to say. There are other things going on out there, other treatment ways especially outside of the US, that are incredibly promising for advanced stage cancers. And I think that is something that needs to be taken into account. You do have a choice, and if you have the means, it is a way to go about it. It's a tough decision to make, because we're told that there's only one way to really deal with cancer, and that is through the current medical system. You know, in the world though, you know, this is a pretty interesting number also. 18.1 million new cases of cancer, new diagnoses, and 9.6 million deaths will be had throughout the entire world. Approximately there's 43.8 million people living with cancer, and this is as of 2018. You know, that's it's pretty impressive that is kind of where it's at. You know, yes, there are some positive sides to treatment. I know that my autologous stem cell transplant pretty much saved my life, so I'm a little bit torn. I'm a little bit torn only for the fact that, 1, I was able to live through my experience, and 2, I am frustrated because of there should be a lot more openness to alternative treatments to combat this, like old school and new school put together. And that's where I really get a little bit frustrated. So these are the statistics that are as of right now. You know, just in the US, at 1.735 million people of new cases. Shouldn't be that high. When you look at our lifestyles as US citizens and as a society, it's not hard to understand why that number is so big. There's a huge obesity epidemic and heart disease epidemic, and a lot of it has to do with our diets and everything else. I won't go too into all that right now, but I think you can tell that my frustration with these numbers is pretty solid, and it's frustrating to not see more being done to really combat this. There's a lot of money that's going to help fund looking for a cure. It hasn't come out yet, you know. But here's something that you also have to think about is there are so many different cancers and so many different twists. There's no one size fits all. At least I don't see how that could be at this point, you know. But it's not necessarily impossible either, right? On December 23rd, 1971, the National Cancer Act was implemented by President Nixon, and this was the war against cancer. This was in 1971, you know, and now in 2018, throughout the entire world, we got 43.8 million people living with cancer. So kind of like the drug war, you know, war on drugs. It's not going anywhere, and there's too much money involved for it to ever go anywhere. So anyway, sorry for the extra rants there, but, you know, hit me in the comment section, you know, when you watch a video, and let me know what you think. I'm trying to be as positive as I can about this, and sometimes I get my frustrations get a little bit of the best of me. So thanks for listening. I really appreciate your time and energy into watching the videos, and yeah, hit me in the comment section below. Give me a like, give me a thumbs up, and, you know, I will talk to you and see you on the next video.